guys, still on our series why you need software to scale up your business. So today we'll be having questions and conversations still on why you need software to scale up your
Yeah, so the number one question is why do you think many business owners still prefer manual method over automated solutions?
It's basically culture. With my experience over the years consulting for businesses and building enterprise-based applications for people, I just discovered that a lot of people they just prefer, you know, using what they are already used to. Okay, so it's actually very difficult to get people to change from one way of doing things to another. Okay, so and again, they do not even have the right knowledge, right information, not enough customer education to actually bring them to change that way of doing their business. And the business is actually very boring and comes with a lot of things to do. So when you are now saying, hey, let's change from our way of doing things before and let's change to things, you are not only speaking to the business owner, because let's imagine a business owner that has people to also get to train. So you are talking about not just the business owner that has to change, the people working for the business also they will have to change. So we need to recognize the cost that will go into it and all. So it's actually not their fault that they stick to what they already know.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. So, what are the common challenges business face when using manual inventory processes that software could easily use?
So again, it is something is what you know that you can't change from what you do not know. So like you actually do not know that software can actually make it easy.
Yeah.
So you just consider the way you are doing is actually the best of the way. And the most arrogant people to actually convince that, hey, don't use the manual record, use the software now. They are the people who, by the grace of God, their way of doing their business, they become very successful with it. So they know, hey, we have been practical about our business. We keep this record, that record, that record. So telling us down that to switch to business, or when you are coming say, hey, no, with software you can do this one better, you can make it very well. They just feel like we have been doing this for ages. In fact, I had somebody that okay, let me not say insulted me. I had somebody who said to me, I started this business with one freezer and two TV. And today we have four branches. And this is the way we've been doing it. Okay. So we they can't know whether there are easier way of doing it or not. But things are changing now. So we are now in era where businesses now realize that there are a lot that they can do faster and also cut down costs, okay, than using the manual way.
All right, there are some misconceptions. So, what misconceptions do you think prevent small business from adopting inventory management software?
Number one, too expensive. If you hear some businesses telling you about how expensive computerizing your business is, you think that they will have to spend billions of naira. Okay, they feel like, hey, I will have to buy computer, I have to put this here, I have to put that here. So coughing that enormous money from my business is actually too much for the business. So we can't do that. And again, they say, my business is too small. What am I even selling? What am I even selling that I have to computerize? Yeah, how many customers do I even have? So my business is too small. My business cannot even accommodate that number of things, and they feel like it is too time consuming to set up. Okay, and in actual sense, for some technology that is actually not putting into consideration the onboarding processes, it's actually very complex to actually bring about to small businesses. They feel like the big businesses, they are the one that have the money and the time to go through that, and they consider training, and I will now be getting trained, then the people will now be getting trained. I am already accustomed to how I get my report before. And some of them now, do you believe some of them now are now using WhatsApp to send their reports? Okay, and they still do not believe that WhatsApp is actually a form of technology that they are actually using. There are some people who believe that our data is not secure. Ah, it's, people will see people will see the secret of my business. The secret of my business is actually not. so so they will know what my cost is, what my this is. So they actually do not have the deep understanding of how technology works. That everything is private to you, especially when you are using a company that is solid enough, like to actually do the necessary compliance, security compliance stuff to actually make sure that okay, you have the data security.
Most of your answers now move me to my next question.
Okay.
Because for everything there is always a learning curve.
Mhm.
So what's your take on the learning curve for business owners that are transitioning from manual methods to using software for inventory management?
Okay, so I will say generally change is hard.
Yes.
Okay, so actually learning, but what we do in Klakpad, what we do is just to make sure that okay, we have user friendliness, something we're actually not taking away the processes. The way they do it manually is the same way we translate it to doing it on the software. So it is so easy. All they are just doing now is making sure that okay, they are, instead of writing it down on paper, because most businesses, as crude as you think they are, they still write down every sales that comes in. They make sure they say, hey, we need to record it, we write it on paper. But what they do not understand that is that the paper is actually subject to tear and wear. So, but for for software that is tailored to that niche or to that business, shouldn't be so hard for people to actually learn. Okay, I still remember some of our customer learning period an hour 30 minutes. Hey, this is how to sell, this is how to sell. So an hour or 30 minutes, a lot of them they start selling. Okay, so once you get onboarded, selling is so easy. All you need to do is to click 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 what the person wants to buy. You click, then you just discover that okay, it's even time saving than having to write it down on paper.
So, do you believe there is a fear of technology or complexity that cause business owners to shy away from software solutions? Like, for instance, some business owners will just say, no, I'm not too learned like that, or I can't go through the process, I can't read it, I don't know, maybe I can operate it. Do you understand? Maybe it's for those people that are learned. No. So, what do you think are the fear of it?
No, you actually got it right. The thing, their literacy level is actually not enough to actually get to use software. I say I have never seen a business person that is not smart enough to understand at least the basic level of their figures. They know they bought for 2,000 naira and they're supposed to sell for 2,500 naira. Okay, so they count their money. We're just saying you can't do everything with your head. So what it's saying is, hey, let's computer help you do the analysis. Even if you can calculate how much you have earned, how much you have put into it, can you also do prediction? Like I sold on Wednesdays. I do sell for instance people who are maybe bar. I sell climbers, I sell power horse. So how much of the power horse did you sell on Wednesday? But a lot of them can tell you from Thursday down to Sunday is our peak period.
Yeah.
Okay, but can you predict that in the next given to our historical record, in the next 6 months, this is what we're going to do in turnover? Okay, so these are the things that software will just help you to do.
To save them the headache of doing all those things.
Save you the headache
Yes.
of doing business. So they just feel like the drama around software. The drama around using software is too much. So this we have to do this and maybe, again, because not a lot of people actually understand using computers. So, but I say if you can use your phone, you can use software. If you can go to your WhatsApp and send message, you are actually using software. WhatsApp is a software, so you are using software.
Still on the point you made with turnover. So you've worked with different businesses. So from your work with businesses, what kind of return on investment have you seen when they switch from manual to software?
Number one is cost saving.
How?
Okay, so now look at people who deal with inventory. Do you know it is enormous work to actually record all the inventory in
One after the other.
one after the other? Mhm. We record it in. God now help them. They have branches. Let's say they now have a place they call the warehouse. From the warehouse, will now be pushing here and there and there. So they have to employ a whole lot of people to actually get the job done. So using software helps them. Okay, the one I saw, they actually use paper. One, we have to request. We'll make a request to the warehouse that okay, we need so stuffs, and by the use of, like I said, some of them are now using software. I mean, WhatsApp to pass this information. They send the WhatsApp information. The WhatsApp they will send the items. They will send it through bike person. Bike person will bring it here. They will now write again the one they accepted, the one they did not accept. The bike man will actually return it, and all of this enormous work can actually be streamlined. Okay, can be streamlined. Ask them. None of them can tell you in my store or in my warehouse I have 600,000 naira worth of stock. They can't say it from their mind. Okay, but they just know that hey, I bought stock of worth of 500,000 naira last month, but how much of stock do you have now? They can't get to know this. And business specifically is actually, aside from cost saving, you cannot even get more money, more capital into doing your business if you do not understand the basic stuff about your business. Like, you do not have the right data. How do you approach bank? How do you approach people? What is the testament that you are in business? And a lot of them, they subject the record of their business to their bank statement. So it's like, okay, we deposit this amount of money. Some of our customer paid in through transfer. We did POS and all of that. So we feel we are doing business with the bank, but not the accurate data. See, how much transaction do you do a day? Speaks a lot of volume. So if I do 300 transactions a day, means in 10 days I've done 3,000 transactions. In 30 days I've done 9,000 transactions. In 10 months I've done 90,000 transactions. Approaching bank that I do 90,000 unique transactions every 10 months actually speak more volume.
Yes.
So yeah, it looks like that this person understand what he's talking about, but you can never get that information using manual record. How many books do you want to bring together to actually figure it out?
Exactly.
Okay, there was even this situation that happened. I bought TV. I actually that was a long time ago. I bought I wanted to buy TV. Then I was like, okay, let me do it 2 times. So I got there. I paid advance. I didn't pick the TV, so it was safe for them. So I went back there. I think 2 weeks after then, they gave me an invoice. Okay, a receipt showing that I paid certain amount. So I went back there to say, okay, let me just complete the payments and pick the TV. I was so surprised that they gave me a different invoice entirely without the records to the previous one they've given to me. And this one, I wouldn't have been so uptight about it if they have given me the invoice showing the balance. They gave me the invoice showing the full amount that I bought the TV. So I was now asking them that how do you figure out How do you match these two receipts together? The person was like, we use 5 booklets. We use 5 booklets of this receipt every day. So you came 2 weeks ago. So where do we find that? If they should call in an auditor to actually audit that, okay, I can't even remember the figure anymore. But let's say the figure was as at that time 250,000. I paid 150 at first, then I was coming back to pay 100. So what they are simply saying, 150 plus 200, 250,000 naira. They sold the item for 400,000 naira. Okay, but using computer to actually match this together, it's just for you to record the transaction and for you to say, hey, this is the complete of this transaction, and print just another invoice for the person. So a lot of ways they can cut in cost, and not even just cutting costs. They better present themselves as people who understand the business they are in, and they can actually get access to loan, access to grant, access to a lot of stuff from whether the government or the banks.
You have almost answered this question.
Okay.
Yeah, because they said that what are the most common mistakes business owners make when managing inventory manually that software you have helped prevent?
A whole lot, a whole lot. When you are dealing with inventory, you are actually dealing with people stealing that stuff. Because you are dealing with physical item that can be moved around. Okay, so it now depends on whether it is something that can easily be consumed. So you're dealing with not managing it through the software. You can't precisely tell how much of stock of this do you have. I say, I wrote it down. No, if you anybody can tell me that I went to market yesterday, I bought 700,000 naira worth of goods. But let me ask you the same question 6 months after now. Like say, hey, the goods you bought 6 months ago, how much is it? Or how much was it? Okay, a lot of them will not be able to tell you, okay, the stock I bought 6 months ago was actually 600,000 naira or 700,000 naira. Okay, why is that? It's because our mind is actually not our mind is actually not a machine to actually recall a whole everything. Okay, so then you say, hey, I'm not saying you should figure it out from your mind. I'm saying no. Sometimes they will say, I'm not saying I can remember everything. That's why I wrote it down. I say, go and bring me the book from 6 months ago.
Exactly.
Go and bring me the book that you put it in, the receipt. Is it not these days that you even bought something? You bought even valuable stuff. They give you receipt and they are asking you of the receipt 2-3 months after. Then you can't find it. You need to be very organized for you to even have the receipt of the items you have in your house. Not to talk about we are selling it. We keep having movement of stock every now and then, and they say somebody is writing it down. No. So everything should be documented. Business is actually a business of documents, and the reason for document is to settle dispute or to dislodge doubts from issues. Maybe, hey, how much of this and this and this did we do? Instead of us, fighting through memory before we can bring this information out, we just go to where it is and bring it out.
Once mentioned about a small business owner. So like what do you like how do you address concern about those of the cost of their inventory management software for managing business?
Okay, so what you are saying is
As to address
the cost.
yeah, the concern about the cost of inventory management.
So okay, like if somebody wants to get in on software now, what about the cost? See, this thing is
As a
actually
small business owner.
even as a small business owner, Gone are the days where you have to do this and it has to run into millions. Nowadays, I say that you ask some people to buy software and they say, hey, there's a software you can just subscribe to. No, I don't want to subscribe. Oh, I want to buy the software, let it be my own because I want to pay one time. So paying one time now, this person now charges you maybe 1 million naira. So you are buying a license for 1 million naira. So it is yours perpetually. You don't need to pay any recurrent money. I say you are still paying. Okay, because whenever the software has an issue, you call the technician. Then the technician comes around. He's not going to fix it for free. So he's not going to transport himself or herself to the premise of your business for free. Okay. Then you say, hey, our business is growing. Then we need to scale up our business, or we need to upgrade certain feature of the software. You need to call in the technician to upgrade for you. So you are still paying again and again. So you can't cough out 2 million naira from your business. And these are the fears. And the fear is genuine. Taking 2 million naira away from your business at this period is too much. But there are software that you can easily subscribe to. 5,000 naira a month, 10,000 naira a month, or you pay a certain amount for a year length. So this is what you are doing. You are not paying for the cost of update. You are not paying for the cost of upgrade. You are not paying any technician anything. Nobody is coming to your premise to say, hey, we need to figure out, and you are not even paying for support. Support comes to you for free. So, and because these people collect their money on monthly basis or on yearly basis, they know that if they do not give you the correct service, you are not going to pay again the next month or the next year. So they make sure they give you good service in a way, in order for them to not lose you as their customer. So I say the cost has drastically gone down. Okay, you can set up your whole business with just 50,000 naira. Okay, with 100,000 naira. I have to buy laptop. I have to buy this and this. No, sometimes all you just need to do is use your mobile phone. You use your mobile phone, you can capture these details. Okay, I say if you can pay 4,000 naira or 4,000 plus for Netflix or monthly basis, you should be able to pay 10,000 naira or 5,000 naira for a software that would really help you to manage your business. And if you say, no, that one is too costly, that's your sales person that you employed. Are you paying the lady 5,000 naira a month? So why would you say paying 5,000 naira a month to manage your business, to ensure you understand what is going on in your business, to ensure that nobody is stealing from you? So paying 5,000 naira for you is too much. No, it's not too much.
So I feel for everything there will always be errors.
Okay.
So can you explain how errors in manual processes can impact the business, and how software can now reduce those risks?
Okay, so error, like we've been saying, there's no way you can skip error with manual processes. It largely involves human beings, and when it involves human beings, there is actually large room for errors. Okay, then you then say that, hey, is it not the same human being that will input this data into the software? Okay, but I can tell you that there's a limit to the error that you can get when you automate the data entry. Okay, there are some software will solely rely on you putting, let's say you are taking inventory now, solely relying on you typing in the product, putting the quantity, the rate to which you bought the item, and also tallying all of this. Okay, that's why at Klakpad, what we do is, all you need to do is to scan the invoice. When you scan the invoice it automates that process. It brings in the product, it brings in the exact amount on the invoice, the exact quantity on the invoice, and it previews it for you, gives you a room to actually check for correctness. Okay, then you can then save. Using this approach, it has drastically reduced any chance of error. When you capture your data right, you have actually eliminated a whole lot of possibility for error. Okay, and again, you can quickly figure out errors because you are doing real-time tracking. So, and you can easily figure out manipulations. If somebody is doing manipulations or there are some loopholes there, you can easily figure it out. And this is what I tell business owners. The fact that you are using software does not mean people cannot steal from you. You can use software and people will still steal from you dry. So your own job is to monitor the software. The moment, especially in Nigeria, nobody steals when they know they can get caught.
Yeah.
so if you are monitoring, your own job is now to monitor. So if you monitor that, hey, a particular no, this figure is not right. Even they themselves will say, don't do anything. No, guy is watching. No. In fact, he checks that thing on daily basis. Okay, so when you do tracking, your own job, don't get lazy. Don't get lazy along the way and say software is doing for you. What software is doing for you is to just make the process easy for you to track. It is still your job to do the tracking. If you are using software, okay, they can be perpetuating evil on your business. And by the time you are going to figure it out in the next 6 months, probably the person that did that transaction has gone. Daily basis. And do you know the beauty of getting your stock level is low? You know, your stock level is low, and something is alerting you that your stock level is low. You are not losing the opportunity to make sales, because if you run dry on a particular stock that people buy, so customers are now coming for it now, and there's no stock to buy. You've lost that money. You've left money on the table. It's not available and all of that. So you can automate reordering processes. Like Klakpad now, you can automate your reordering processes. You can set alert that, okay, if this particular this software, if this particular product is getting low, hey, alert my vendor. Send an alert to me and alert my vendor regarding this. So it can automate your reorder processes and all.
What will you say to a business owner who believes that manual methods are more reliable than inventory management software?
So you can just tell the person that is prone to human error. And the processes are time consuming, and there's a room for stock discrepancies. Okay, and somebody said, I recorded 20. It is not just imagine you wanted to record 20 and you recorded 200, or you wanted to record 200 and you record 20. Okay, so all of this error, and that's why I say, with a method of, we call that our feature magic invoice scanning. Wow. So the magic invoice scanning, you just scan the invoice, it captures the details on the invoice and interprets it and gives you a preview. So there's no possible way they say, I wanted to bring in 200 and I brought in 20, or I wanted to bring 20 and I brought in so. And also, you cannot lose if you are using manual record. Like I said, you can lose sales. You do not know that you do not have that particular stock, and the customer is coming. And it's again, you can buy in stock that stay longer on your shelf, because there's no way for you to track how fast moving the items are. But if you have something that can predict for you, that can tell you the velocity to which a particular product is moving, you will know that, okay, do you know this thing occurred largely during the Christmas season? A whole lot of people stock because people buy a whole lot then. So seriously, they will also sell a whole lot of it. But there will be these 200 items that nobody buys anymore. So if you have a software that can give you over the time, it's okay, this is the accurate number that people buy. So given to this number, the historical data that I have, so buy this particular amount for this December period. Okay, there's actually plus and minus there. There's a possibility for you to actually buy a little less than what people are demanding for, and also a little more than what people who are willing to buy. But one thing is key: you are not leaving stock on your shelf. This is actually discouraging people from opening multiple locations because how do I monitor it? Because people believe that I need to physically be at the premise of my business to actually monitor my business very well. So how do I monitor my business? And even if they do it in hope that okay, whoever they put there is actually going to do them well. So because and this also goes to our people in abroad, our people in diaspora. They have the fear of doing business in Nigeria because they will have to look for trusted people. Okay, so and I say if you are looking for whom to trust, you may not find one. So just put documents in place, put software and structure in place for you to actually do your business with, and you cannot do this manually. Imagine you have to call your salesperson. How much of sales did you guys make today? How much? But when your salesperson knows that you can see the sales, okay, there's this case of one of our customers that in China. The person monitoring managing the business in Nigeria bought a tile of I think 17,000 naira. He feels that same tire can actually be bought for 15,000 naira, and they have somebody that can buy that same tire for 15,000 naira from. Okay, so he called him. He said, "Hey, the tire you just posted, the cost of the tire you just posted, where did you buy it from? You bought it for so. Go and meet so person. I've called him. The same tire goes for 15,000 naira. Return this one and buy that one." So in your head, you say, only for just 2,000 naira difference? No. What that has done is to show to the people managing the business that, hey, I am washing.
Yeah.
So anytime they want to misbehave, they feel like, hey, we can't misbehave. But there's no way you can do that using manual record. How do you can't be in two places at the same time. So for you to be able to manage, and this gives business owner the necessary freedom to pay attention to what really matters, to pay attention to growing the business. Because if the business owner have to worry about, hey, raising capital or doing this business right, and still worried about, I don't even know what the other person is doing in that location. Do you get what I'm saying? But when they see that you can monitor everything centrally, okay, I also say, if you want to use software, okay, do your due diligence about the software you are using. Gone are the days where you have to use complete offline software to do your business. I then say that to actually do business with complete online software is actually not the best also, because you have to, because of the internet situation in our country, you have to wait. The customer will have to wait while the internet is actually getting ready or misbehaving. Even if you are now in a place where internet is not so good, what will you do? Will you say, okay, we are not selling there and all of that, or you say your customer should wait? Some of them will say, when you are not bank. So I will even understand if you are a bank, so I know, okay, I have to wait. The structure that's been laid on ground, and a lot of people have believed. In fact, people have believed that process already. So no, on your own business now, you now need me to wait for 2-3 hours for you to get internet access ready for you to 2-3 hours for you to get internet ready for me to be able to patronize you. It looks absurd, but that's why I say use hybrid. Okay, use software that can give you the transaction processes offline, but at the end of the day, sync the data online. And that's what we do with Klakpad seller. If you use Klakpad seller, it's a complete ecosystem. The desktop is there to make sure that okay, you can sell offline and later sync it online. The mobile version of it also is also there for the business owner to monitor wherever the business owner is. So these are the things we've done.
You still have issues with data security. So, how do you ensure data security for businesses when transitioning from paper-based method to digital inventory management?
Anybody that is thinking about data protection is having a very valid point. If you think that okay, my data should be protected and all of that, and this is why I say before you choose any software to use, make sure you do your due diligence. Make sure they are compliant to the data protection regulation in Nigeria, and make sure that you read their data privacy policy okay well, so that you'll be sure that you are protected. Okay, and also they use a very secure cloud-based technology, so that you'll be truly protected. But it's a valid doubt. Okay.
Now, we've spoken to a business owner, we have spoken to them transition from paper-based method to digital method. Now, but they are not yet convinced. So, what's your piece of advice for them?
I say the struggle with business is too much for you to hurt that of not having the right data there. And I say to people, I say, watch the big organizations. See, there's no point starting a business and thinking about remaining small. So to actually scale up a business, you need data. So data proves that you understand your business, you understand your niche. You as an expert is also in that business. So data also qualify you for some grants, for some loans, so to scale up your business. So I say you can't wait any longer. The business environment is actually waking up to the fact that hey, we can't really monitor using the old method we are used to. We really need to monitor now with technologies that will make life easy for us. Do you still remember back then that it looks like a miracle to call somebody and you feel, don't you feel back then that hey, this person that I just called, if only it is possible for me to be seeing the person. Okay, so and the technology brought that for us. You can call somebody in the US and be seeing the person in Nigeria. Okay, so businesses, we have to move with the trend of technology. Any business that actually use technology to enhance its business operation, we see the difference, and we also enjoy the possibility of being in multiple places at the same time. Possibility of scaling up, less headache, having freedom. There are some business owners that they can never take vacation away from the business, because when they take vacation, they believe somebody is stealing their business. Now, do you now know the irony of it? They will never know when they employ somebody that is very, very sincere to their business, because they've had this knowledge that everybody steals. So when they now have somebody that is upright, it will take extra effort for them to identify that person, because there's no process for them to follow. And you can make innocent of a criminal. Just give a process and wash over the process. You just discover that this person that steals normally is not stealing. Because you now put a system in place that can push out the bad eggs from your business. So away from people stealing your business, there are people in your business that actually do not want to do the job. But because there's a process and there's a structure in place to actually filter out the weak ants, it will be very, very, very easy for you. So I don't see anything any business is enjoying not using technology to enhance their business.
With everything we've said so far,
Okay.
we'll still have people that don't trust in technology or lack trust in technology. So now, do you think a lack of trust in technology plays a role in why some businesses owners stick to manual methods?
Of course. Of course, it did play a very strong role.
Okay. So, do you believe software solutions are truly more expensive in the long run?
It's actually very cheap. It's actually very cheap. Imagine one single human error can bankrupt a business. Hey, hey, yeah. Have you see? There was this thing that happened. I We wanted to pay salary. Okay, so back then when we have not automated the situation, somebody we were supposed to send 400,000 naira to one of our staff, and we sent the money to somebody else that is bearing similar name to that person. What saved the situation was we actually know that person. So imagine we do not know the person. The money is gone. But somebody now automated it, and I say, and somebody now did a software so that you can automate that process, and you are only paying 200 naira per the person you pay salary to. Eh? Do you know how many 200 naira you will see? How many 200 naira you save in 400,000 naira? Do you understand the person? So one single error can actually hit the company so dry. See, a lot of the time people say, "I know automation is so expensive." Automation, they on daily basis they are paying for automation, especially hospitality business. I believe everybody running hotel or having restaurant or lounge should automate their processes, because you can adequately monitor what goes into the kitchen and what they produce with it. Okay, so all of this, you discover that you are paying the cost of not using software to manage it.
I learned a lot.
Yeah, I also need to work.
I just wish our business owners out there have learned
Yes.
a lot like we've learned too.
They're actually coming up. They're actually coming up. There are a lot of them we meet lately. Look at it. People now call us or shuttled us and say, "Hey, I need to automate my business." This don't happen before. In fact, you go and meet businesses. A lot of bureaucracies you will meet on the way before you even get to the MD to make the decision. But now you get to see even the workers encouraging the MD that no, we need to automate this business. So I think people are coming up. They are seeing the need for software.
To see you in our next episode.
I hope to see you too.